tonight we have a special guest, and she's not really a guest. She's a part of our community, Jenny Simpson, who has brought her Olympic bronze medal to share with us tonight, and she's got some stuff to share with us about how she uses her job as a professional runner and now an Olympic bronze medalist to create good culture. So as Jenny comes up, you can enjoy the last lap of her Olympic finals race here.
Big medal.
Awesome, huh? We have certain convictions that lead us to want to do things like Culture Creator, and one is that God cares about every part of life, including our daily work. And we have a number of people here who are doing very interesting things. We know that all of you are doing good daily work, and if it's offered to God, he can use it. But it sure is neat when you have a professional runner who wins a bronze medal who could come and tell you about what she does for her work and how that creates culture. And so Jenny's going to share that with you. Thanks, Jenny, for being here, and we're all very proud of you. She had a line of kids after the last service taking pictures, and I'm sure that can happen again. But tell us about your job and how you create culture.
Yeah, so what I didn't say the earlier service is that was really hard. So, yeah, every bit of energy that you have for decades of your life go into those moments. So it's so fun to share with you guys. But Brian asked me to come and explain a little bit about what I do. That part is very self-evident. It's very clear when I'm on television that I'm a professional runner. But to give you guys kind of another angle and probably how I experience my job more is that I raced in 8 different events this year, and it totaled up because of rounds and stuff. It totaled up to 12 different miles that I ran. And so 12 miles this year I ran at competitions, but I ran almost, I think a little, I'm estimating, but I rounded to I think 3,500 miles in training this year. So the 12 compared to the 3,500 is the 12 miles is less than half of 1% of my entire year of running is what you guys see on television. And so in all of that time and all of those miles, I spent a lot of time with the CU team, who I'm a volunteer assistant coach with and have been for a number of years. And before that was a Buffalo. And from 2010 to 13 was a volunteer coach at the U.S. Air Force Academy. So that is what I do for a living.
And tell us how you take that work, which is really exciting and part of your passion and your dream, but how do you use that and let God use that to care for people and to create good culture where people are blessed?
Yeah, so I really feel like there's 2 clear ways in my life I can kind of divide how I can create culture through my job in kind of 2 different ways. And the first is as a personality in my sport, and the second is how I create culture as a person. And so I have this really unique and special and crazy opportunity that through what I do, and because I've been able to train and do it at a really high level, I do get to be a personality in the sport that reaches way far beyond people that I'm ever going to shake hands with. And so through that, I've really tried over the years to promote a really positive message and something that everybody can be really proud to be a part of and really cheer for. And one of the main parts of that message has been, I found, and I really think about what speaks to me as an athlete. And I kept hearing over and over and over people saying, you know, there's so many people that rooted against me, or my 3rd grade teacher told me I would be a nobody, and I proved them wrong today. And so I really have tried in my career to send out a different message from that and say, there are so many wonderful people around us every day, and I run to prove them right. And so that's been a big part of kind of my public personality and how I've tried to influence the culture of sports that way. And then on the other side of things as a person, you know, I interact with a lot of people every single day, and with a lot of students and with my coaches and with my teammates. And I have gained a greater awareness, especially even this year, and through a lot of trials I went through getting ready for the Olympic Games, and what exactly that looks like to connect with people on a one-on-one relationship. And the thing that has really been the theme of my season is how I can, in personal relationships, not just the overarching theme of being a good runner, but how can I personally serve the people that I'm around every day. And I really feel like there are ways, and I've shared with Brian a lot, that the culture in my small world is changing as I'm a better and better servant to the people around me.
Since this is the last service, okay, I want you to share one more thing. So Jenny and I have spent time together this year, and she really does want to be as good of a person and a teammate as she is a runner. And so we spend time talking about how to handle complicated things. Why don't you share the joy of this summer, that special moment at the trials, and how that was almost a surprise of the thing that was most exciting?
Yeah, so this has been a real personal challenge of mine, is that being as competitive as I am, I think that that's a really good thing, and that's something that's vital to my job. But I talked a lot to Brian about how can I be competitive and truly want the good things for my life and also be a good teammate and root for other people. And it's tough for me because I don't root for other people. I'm rooting for me. and that's a very real thing, I think, as a Christian person when you're in a competitive field. And I don't think that matters if you're a runner or an athlete. That also applies if you're in a job and you want a higher position, or if you're a student and you want to get great grades or get better grades than someone else. So anyway, we talked about that a lot. And I really kind of let go a lot of the things in me that were truly like control and jealousy and a lot of my own kind of lack of confidence in areas of my life. And it wasn't easy. And one of the things that Brian really encouraged me was behave right first and let your heart kind of follow that. And I really did try that. I was like, it's worth a try, just doing something nice and then seeing if I was happy that I did it later. And as that happened, it truly was a transformational experience for me. So the story that I'll try really quickly to tell is that, so I go to the Olympic trials this year, and I had an injury this year. I haven't suffered an injury since 2010, and so that was a really difficult thing for me. So it was very easy for me to be very singularly focused on me achieving my goals. And on the week before I was running the 1,500 meters, I'm sponsored by New Balance. And so a teammate that I don't train with, but she's a teammate through New Balance, was supposed to make the 800 team. She'd made all the way through the rounds and was involved in a trip and a fall in the 800 meters. And she didn't make the team, the Olympic team, a dream of hers. And so 3 days later, I'm supposed to start racing. And as a backup plan that she never planned on using, she had double entered in the 1,500 meters. And so I go through my own Olympic trials experience, fast forward to the final, and Brenda has made it to the final. And I come across the finish line, and I had won, and I turn around and I see her. She had dove at the line for third, and she didn't know whether she was third or fourth. And there's this great scene, I don't know if anyone has seen it, but this great scene of I come across the finish line, I'm looking at the board and looking at Brenda, and I so sincerely wanted her to make the team. And that was impossible like 2 months ago. So it was a really transformational experience for me, and she did make the team, and we were teammates, and so that was a really special moment. And I told Brian, which is really true, like that was a more important moment for me as a Christian and a human than winning bronze this year. So anyway, I'm sorry, this is so dumb that I'm getting, it's easier to talk about running, but anyway, so that was really, 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 really special for me, and I'm so grateful for this community because that's going to matter more in the future.
Well, we're proud of you, and we celebrate both the wins. Good job. Good job, Jenny.